Welcome to Football with Cheese. Happy Groundhog Day. You know, I saw online that the groundhog is incorrect more than half the time. Perhaps he should be fired. Perhaps it's time to give a different creature a chance to be more accurate. Maybe Badger Day instead. Give the badger a chance. Just saying. Alrighty. Today's video, it's going to be about Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado. I did a video going over like the Senior Bowl week, who impressed, and I was going to do a separate Senior Bowl game video, but there was some overlap. Some players had a good week, had a good game, so I'm just going to combine those. Look for that later today or tomorrow. But like I said, this is about Shedeur Sanders. 2024, we had 6 quarterbacks go in the top 12. We might not have 6 quarterbacks go in the first 5 rounds. It's pretty weak, but more on that later. I will make a video about the class last year compared to this year later on as we get close to the draft and where I would put each quarterback in last year's draft. But let's go over Shedeur Sanders' strengths first. He's really accurate. You have to be accurate in the NFL. A lot of quarterbacks that have big arms, were athletic, didn't make it because they just missed throws, and he doesn't, especially in the pocket. He doesn't get intercepted a lot. Accuracy is not just about putting the ball in the receiver's hands every time, right where it needs to be. It's also about not getting intercepted. Maybe making a pass where it'd be tough for your receiver to catch it, but it's not going to be intercepted. It's either your guy catches it or no one does. He does that as well. So you have to have that trait. He played well in big games in the clutch, in the fourth quarter, on third down. He's not a real big scrambler, but he can. He's athletic enough. He'll scramble for first downs. He's very poised in the pocket. He loves to stand in the pocket. He will stay there and take the hit. He'll wait till the last second to throw the ball. He's not scared at all. Looks very confident and comfortable in the pocket. And he just seems like a real smart player. High football IQ. Makes the right read most of the time, not every time. But he'll make the right read. If he doesn't have it, he'll check it down. Just a smart player. But Shedeur, like all players, has his weaknesses. Just mentioned he's poised in the pocket, very comfortable in the pocket, but sometimes he'll leave too early or stay too long in the pocket, especially the latter. He'll just stay way too long when he has a chance to leave. So he's got to get a little better at pocket awareness. He holds the ball too long and takes too many sacks. The arm strength, I read this before the season, that he had a questionable arm strength. I didn't see it. He can make all the throws. I mean, he doesn't have that Brett Favre absolute cannon, but his arm is good enough to make all the throws. I'm not worried about it. He's more accurate in the pocket than on the run. On the run, I mean, this is common for a lot of quarterbacks. But on the run, sometimes his accuracy, he'll lose it a little bit. Sometimes the ball will go too high. That's usually when he struggles with accuracy, is on the run and it end up too high. That can get you in trouble in the NFL, especially over the middle of the field. Shedeur, he's just one of those guys that what you see is what you get. He's not a hard player to analyze. He's just good at a lot of things. He's got a high floor. I don't think he has a high ceiling. I don't think he makes enough big plays. And I think a lot of his big plays are because of Travis Hunter, some of the people around him making the play. But that's not a bad thing. I don't think he'll ever be like a top 7 or 8 quarterback, because right now there's really about 7 or 8 guys, and then a couple guys that are close but haven't quite got that level, like a CJ Stroud, Jordan Love. They're tough because they didn't have as good a year this year as the year before. So I think Shedeur will be like somewhere in the 9 to 15 range. So I think he'll be good but not great. And Sanders needs to be in a system where the wide receivers are very good when the play breaks down, coming back to the ball and getting open. You know, you ever watch a game where a quarterback has to leave a pocket, the play breaks down, it's 5 seconds after he snapped it, and the receivers come back and make a move? He needs receivers that can do that because he does like to hold the ball. So he needs receivers that can get open after their route breaks down. And he needs a good offensive line, a good pass blocking offensive line. Let's say that. He is not really a fit with the Titans, in my opinion, because they have one of the worst pass blocking offensive lines in the NFL. If they draft him and don't do anything to help their offensive line, he's just going to get hit, and he's probably going to get hurt. He needs an offensive line that will give him time, because he likes to go through every read. He likes to hold the ball. And when the play breaks down, then he finds the open man. He does that a lot. So, like Miami's offense, they don't need an elite offensive line because Tua's getting rid of the ball. That's their offense. Tua's getting it out in 2 seconds almost every time. Shedeur is just not that quarterback. He's the maybe hold it long, the Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. Not saying he's that good. He's not as good as those players, but he needs to be in an offense that has receivers that are great when the play breaks down and good pass blocking offensive line. He needs like a Detroit Lions type offense. He needs to be in that kind of system with that kind of players. So, like Jared Goff, great example, very good in the pocket. He will destroy you. I've seen Jared Goff as a comp. He's more athletic than Goff. He can scramble better, but he doesn't make as many plays as Goff. But I guess they're similar in they're very good in the pocket, but there's not a real good comp for Shedeur Sanders, in my opinion, because he's better than a game manager, but he's not like C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love have seen as other comps. They make more plays. They're going to make more plays than Sanders. Sanders is probably going to throw fewer interceptions and be more consistent, if that makes sense. So I don't think he's a top 10 talent. I don't know if he's a top 20 talent. He's just good. And if you have a lot of talent around him, then that offense can be good. But if your offensive line's bad, if you have receivers that give up on routes and don't come back to the ball, he could really struggle. That's kind of what I think. Let me know in the comments what you think about Sanders. When I do these breakdowns, what I do is I watch their biggest game, their best game, and their worst game. And if their biggest game is the same as their best or worst, then I pick the next best game. So I watch 3 games, rewatch if I have already seen the game. So I'm going to try to do Cam Ward next weekend. We have the Super Bowl coming up, so obviously I'll do some videos on that, preview the Super Bowl. But Cam Ward is the other quarterback that's right up there with Sanders is the first quarterback off the board. So I watched more Cam Ward than I did Sanders regular season. But I'm going to rewatch him. Make sure you are subscribed if you have not already. Turn on notifications. Like this video. Share it with anyone so we can grow the channel. Follow me on X. I put the link in the bio. And like I said, look for my Senior Bowl video either later today or tomorrow.